Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Y'all doing okay this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Just want to say, guys, there's still a few seats up here. If those of you in the balcony would like to make your way down, you can do that. Or not. I use that every time I get up to preach, so bear with me. I need some new material.
Okay, there's still some people looking for the balcony.
Oh. Do we have any football fans at all here?
What's football?
We got one.
Yeah.
I know Jenny is. Football. Lori pretends to be.
I do.
I got to tell you something, guys. We're in a fantasy football league together, and Lori's team, how she drew the team she drew, she's got like Stephon Diggs, Tony Pollard,
CeeDee Lamb,
CeeDee Lamb.
Fournette. Yes, I do have a good team.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she's got. We're all trying to scramble for people every week, and she's like, I've got Fournette on the bench. Anyway, I said all that to say this. I'm actually talking about football this morning in my message. And I'm talking about pivotal moments. You know, there's a lot of young people in high school that get scouted, they get recruited, they're labeled as a 5-star recruit or a 3-star recruit. And colleges will go after them to fill positions, and they'll make the team. Occasionally there will be a walk-on that makes it and gets big, but never received a scholarship to start. And then out of all of those people that were so great in college, you've got a few that get drafted in the NFL. Very, very hard to get into the NFL, and a lot of the people who do get drafted to the NFL wind up either sitting on the bench or playing on the practice squad. I'm just giving you some lowdown here so I can go where I want to go with this. But they'll wind up on the bench, they'll wind up second, third string, but they may not ever see the field. Or when they do see the field, it's in preseason, or they have to wait until somebody gets hurt. Some of the more notable people who have had their opportunity when someone got hurt. August 25th, 2016. Tony Romo is absolutely smashed. Breaks a lower vertebrae in his back and is out. Young man named Dak Prescott, second-string quarterback. Nobody had ever heard of Dak Prescott. I think he was like a 6th-round draft pick. Seriously, nobody had ever heard of this kid. He has to go in. He has to start. Does anybody in here know who Dak Prescott is?
Never heard of him.
Okay. Dak Prescott is the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. 2016 was his first opportunity. He took that opportunity and he never looked back. He took that opportunity and he showed exactly what he could do. Well, guess what? September 11th, 2022, Dak Prescott decides he's going to break out of the pocket and he's going to take off and he's going to run, and he gets tackled and breaks his leg in one of the most nasty, ugly things I've ever seen. It was bad. And in walks this young man, second-string quarterback named Cooper Rush. People had heard of Cooper Rush if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, because he's been around the Dallas Cowboys for 2 or 3 years, but he's never got an opportunity to really play. He plays in preseason. Well, guess what? On September 11th, he got his chance. And Dallas has gone undefeated with Cooper Rush as their quarterback. They haven't lost a game since he took over. Why am I saying all that? Both of these guys were given an opportunity. First of all, they were given an opportunity to be in the NFL. Then they were given an opportunity to step in and start. And they had to take advantage of that opportunity. But there were some things that they had to overcome in order to get to that place where they could perform the way that they performed. What are the things that they had to do? Well, Proverbs 29:18 says this: where there is no revelation or vision, people cast off restraint, but blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. I'm going to put this into where there is no vision, the people perish, is how most of us have heard this scripture. See, when Dak Prescott had his opportunity and Cooper Rush had his opportunity, they had to believe they could do something with that opportunity. See, what the mind can believe and what the mind can see, the mind can achieve. If you don't have a vision to be something greater than a backup quarterback, if you don't have a vision to do something greater as an NFL player, to be bigger than second string, to be bigger than third string. Now understand, there's a place for second and third string people, but not everybody's made to be second and third string people. When you're given that opportunity, you have to have that vision to see yourself as able to do more than you're doing. You have to see yourself as, and I'm not talking about football. I don't think any of us have to worry about getting a call from the Dallas Cowboys and saying, hey, we want you to start Sunday. Are you in shape?
Round is a shape.
Round is a shape, yes. But you have to have that vision. And in life, when we're given those opportunities, those pivotal moments in our life, those moments where everything is subject to change, where the status quo, we feel this unctioning inside of us, and we know that something big's coming up. We feel that God is ready to do something amazing in our life, and then the door opens, the opportunity opens, that chance happens. That pivotal moment takes place. We need to take advantage of that. But if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't have a vision to do something greater, if Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, if they got the call to go up and start, and they're like, you know what, I'm just content to sit here on the bench. It's okay. I'm just content. You know what, I make pretty good money for a backup quarterback, and I don't have to get out there and take the hits all the time. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to. I'll stay here. Hey, who's the third string guy? Let's let him go out there. I don't want to risk it. No, they had a vision. They were waiting for this opportunity. They were waiting for this change. They were waiting for the opportunity to not only take the field because they loved the game, but the opportunity to show what they had a vision for, that they could do this, that they could be more. Cooper Rush, I'm sure, believed in his mind that, hey, I can go out there and I can lead this team, and I'm going to win games, and he did that. But what if he'd have gone out there, man, I'm just the second string quarterback. I'm out here, but we all know we're going to lose this game. We all know, because listen, guys, in the media, they were looking for people that Dallas could sign. Okay, well, you know what? Jimmy Garoppolo. I know I'm using a lot of. Just go with me. Pretend like you know what I'm talking about. Jimmy Garoppolo. He was a quarterback for San Francisco. He was their backup quarterback. They're like, hey, let's go trade. They should trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. They should Colin Kaepernick. Let's bring him out of retirement. There were all of these things floating around about how the Cowboys could counter this, and you know that all that negativity had to take a toll on Cooper Rush. He had to block that stuff out, and he had to say, in his mind, he had to say, yeah, don't go get into the quarterback. I can do this. I've been waiting for this opportunity. It's my time to shine. It's my time to lead. And so the point I'm trying to make with that is simply this. If you don't believe it, you'll never achieve it.
Right.
If you don't believe that the opportunity in front of you, if you don't believe that pivotal moment in front of you, that there's something inside of you, and listen, you may not even see it, but the Word tells us that when we've got God on our side, we can accomplish anything. We've got to get to that point where we believe that we can accomplish anything. And then Jeremiah 29:11 says this, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you future and a hope." We hear stuff like this, we see stuff like this, but do we see stuff like this happening in our life? I'm not talking about do we look around right now and go, oh yeah, I'm financially well, and then we look at the bank account and we're struggling, and it's like, okay, maybe not. Like every week. Just kidding. Every other week, yeah. We have to see ourselves, not only do we have to believe that we can do it, but we have to actually see ourselves being able to accomplish greater things. We have to see ourselves being able to do things that sometimes take us out of our comfort zone. We have to see ourselves as being worthy to do the things that God wants us to do. And the Bible says the only way that we're worthy of anything is because of what Jesus did. It's not by our own actions. It's because of what Jesus did. And I was listening to something, maybe it was praise and worship this morning. It is finished. When you said that it is done, that was it. When you said that it is done. I'm a firm believer that when Jesus said it is finished, it was finished. And that there's nothing else we need to do to fix that except accept it and see it. Believe it and see it. Well, we've got to get past the past. Here's the thing. Even though Cooper Rush and even though Dak Prescott were drafted into the NFL, hey, that's great. But you're not good enough to be number one. You're just going to be number two, maybe number three. You're not good enough to be number one. What we talked about earlier, where they were saying, hey, we need to get a new quarterback and replace Cooper Rush. Don't let him start. It's going to be horrible. You have to get out of that stuff, all that negativity. When you have a bad game, when you throw an interception, you have to shake that stuff off. You have to shed it. You have to get rid of it. You can't live in those things because that's what causes a lot of football players to drop out of the NFL is they have a few bad plays or they have a couple of bad games, and all of a sudden they feel like that's the way that the rest of their career is going to go. Guys, we've got to get rid of the junk in our life that holds us back. We've got to get rid, I'm going to wind up dropping that coffee, let me put that down. We've got to get rid of the negative things that have been spoken over us, the negative things that have been said about us, because guess what? Not everybody's on your side. Not everybody's on your team. Not everybody's going to give you nice little warm things and little statements that just make your day happy like a little desk calendar does. There's going to be some negativity come. There's going to be some things in our past that if we dwell on those, we are going to not reach our full potential. You see scraps on the football field all the time where people will fight with each other. We've all got people in our lives that have hurt us. And our human flesh pops up and it makes it difficult to move forward sometimes when we have got things that we haven't forgiven, when we've got things that when somebody has spoken a negative word over us, we believed it and we've kind of claimed it and we've kind of started living it whether we wanted to or not. We've got to see ourselves as more. We've got to get past the I'm not good enough. James 2:17 says this. We believe it, we see it. Now James 2:17. In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. I'm Dak Prescott.
No, you're not.
Hey, can I be Cooper Rush at least? Minimum wage in the NFL is not bad. So. And I'm given the opportunity to hit the field. And in my mind, I'm sitting there on the bench waiting for the opportunity. I am thinking about how well I can do, how much I can do. I'm thinking about how I'm going to be the hero and I'm going to walk in here and we're going to win the game. And then my opportunity comes and I refuse to get off the bench because it was all here. I'm not willing to take this and put it into action. See, it doesn't do us any good to believe it. It doesn't even do any good for us to see ourselves doing it. What matters is that we take those thoughts, those beliefs, and we apply them and put them into action. I can say I love you all day long, but if I'm not willing to put that into action, do I really love you? If I and don't get me wrong, I think you can love people and find it hard and struggle within yourself to get out of your comfort zone to love people the way we need to love people. But anyway, I mean, if I come up to an old rickety bridge and I say, yeah, I know it's a long way down there. And I always picture, when I think about this, I always picture Indiana Jones where they're crossing the thing and there's alligators down at the bottom and the dudes are chasing them with swords and all this kind of stuff. If I believe that that bridge will hold me, and I say I believe that that bridge is going to hold me, but then it comes time to cross the bridge and I say I'm not crossing that bridge, do I really believe that it will hold me? If I'm not willing to take action and put that action with the faith to walk on that bridge, I don't know. But faith without works is dead. We've got to put our thoughts into actions. Whether Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush believed that they could do it or not, when the time came, they had to. What's the term? Put up or shut up? Proverbs 3:5 says this, and I'm done. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You got to trust the one calling the plays, guys. I know that sounds crazy, but can you imagine the division and the confusion if Dak Prescott were to go out there and whoever the coach is at the time calls a running play, Dak Prescott gets into the huddle and says, I don't think a running play is the right call. We're going to go for a long ball. We're going to throw a long pass. And he constantly did that over and over again at different times. It's going to cause confusion, not unity. It's going to cause the team to be confused. It's going to cause there to be a power struggle. The point I'm trying to make is simply this. If we're going to give our lives to Christ and we're going to allow Him to do bigger and better things in us, and listen, going to the next level may not be for everybody. It's okay. There's good associate pastors, and there's good backup quarterbacks, and there's good assistant CEOs and things like that. That's where they belong. They're there to support. They're there to help. We need that. If you walked in today, you saw the clean tiles, and you look down and see the clean floors, and you see all the cool arrangements and stuff that took place yesterday. We need that. I'm not saying that's where you need to stay because I feel like it's not, but anyway, it's awesome. You did a good job. Thank you. You have that gift. You let that gift out. You let that gift shine. But guys, trust the one that's calling the play. When he calls you to do something bigger, then just like Cooper Rush and just like Dak Prescott, who were not first-round draft picks, who were way down the road somewhere, That right there. Oh, my mind just went completely blank. Wow. I mean, completely blank.
Trust the Lord. Let him call the shots.
Yes, let him call the shots. When they got their opportunity, if they hadn't taken that opportunity, if they hadn't trusted that the coaches saw something in them, that the coach saw something in them that made them worthy to hit that field, if they didn't believe that, if they didn't trust that, then they never would have been successful. So when God calls us to something greater, you got to trust that God's got a plan for it. If God's calling the plays, He knows what's inside of you and He knows how to bring it out. Love you guys this morning.
Creator, Father, Daddy, thank you for